This might be an insane video. However, we're going to go for it, and I'm going to try to make it as straight to the point and as short as possible. We gonna pray on that. I got so much positive feedback from my last video going over just new products at Sephora that stood out to me and just some staples that I think are worth you checking out. And then it had me thinking, I didn't realize how much y'all really take in consideration my opinions. I am not someone who thinks crazy highly of myself, and not in a self-deprecating way or in a way to put myself down. I just don't think that people really listen to me like that and take my opinion seriously. But I understand, as a 12-year beauty professional, a licensed cosmetologist, a hairstylist, a makeup artist, specializing in healthy hair care, hair color, makeup artistry, natural hair, y'all remind me that I know some things. So here's what we're gonna do. We're gonna review foundations that are on Sephora. I figured, you know what, the sale's still going on, let's do it. I'm going to give you my honest professional opinion on foundations I have personally tried on myself or on clients, the best application practices, and my thoughts. Is it worth it or is it trash? All right, so the first thing we have here is the Charlotte Tilbury Hollywood Flawless Filter. I have it. It is somewhere. You guys, I have so much makeup on my floor right now. Not even funny. That's not what we're talking about. I would not consider this a foundation, first of all. This is going to be helpful for anybody who has dry skin and you want like that glow booster effect. That's what this is. To call this a foundation, no. I don't even know why it popped up when I put foundation in. And also, just to let y'all know, foundation results, there's 267 foundations. We're not going through that many. Okay, next up, Huda Beauty Easy Blur. I've reviewed this. The cool thing about this foundation is that it has niacinamide in it, so it gives your foundation, it gives your face, excuse me, just like this nice glow, and not glow like dewy, but just like the overall integrity of your complexion. It just looks nice, bright, youthful, alive. I like it a lot. I feel like this is a great foundation because it sits right in the middle. So it's not a skin tint, but it's not a full coverage situation either. So if you are someone who you want a little bit of something but not too much, but I will say that if you have dry skin, which shocked me, I didn't realize this until I started trying it on clients in store. I have very oily skin for reference, but I tried it on a couple of girls. I had a girl today. If you have dry skin, make sure that you are prepping the skin properly. And when I say prepping, I'm not talking about primer. I'm talking about exfoliating, dermaplaning, hydrating, hyaluronic acid, all those things, especially with the winter time coming when the climate gets a little bit cooler. But outside of that, I liked it. If you have oily skin, you'll like it. Just make sure you powder it down. If you're on the drier side, like I said, just make sure skin is prepped. Next up, if I don't mention a product, it's because I've never tried it. NARS Light Reflecting Advanced Skincare Mediums Coverage Foundation. I didn't like this on me. I personally think I am too oily for it. However, I think it's best suited for dry, combination skin. I always tell my clients, as far as like application, what works best for your hands, because everybody can't maneuver everything the same, right? Some people like a brush, some people like a sponge. A sponge is always going to be the easiest, I feel, for everybody to use. Just keep in mind that a sponge is going to pull up a little bit of product. I'm a brush girly myself, okay? But there are some times where, just depending on the consistency of the foundation, where I'm using the brush, but I feel like I need to do a good overhaul with a sponge, I'll do a sponge. But that NARS foundation, the light reflecting one, it is great if you do have more so of a normal to drier skin type. House Labs foundation, let's talk about it. So I have not tried this foundation on myself, just simply because this foundation is not for me. I do not recommend this at all for oily skin, for my dry skin girlies, for my combination skin girlies. But here's the thing, I do not like the undertones of this foundation. I don't. It's just, some of the undertones I feel are not real skin tone undertones. I'm like, that's not a real person. So that's my hang up with it. I always have a super hard time matching it with clients in store, which I ain't gonna hold you. I'm good at foundation matching. I got that thing in the bag, but this one is definitely one that trips me up. And I personally, for that reasoning, am not a fan of it. However, the consistency, how it goes on, it's nice and smooth. It goes on beautifully. If you can find your shade, you'll like it. If you can't find your shade, it can be a little bit daunting. Estee Lauder Double Wear. I love this foundation. This foundation lives in my kit for the demographic and the type of work that I do. It works beautifully. I love that the consistency of it. It's a full coverage foundation. However, it's not thick. This can be used on all skin types. I know because I do it. However, again, it's going to go back to skin prep. Now, if you aren't doing anything where you're going to be on stage or it's a wedding, you're going to be outside, I wouldn't necessarily recommend this to you if you have dry skin. If you do have dry skin, I will say this. When I used to manage the Estee Lauder counter, they have a glowy, watery primer, and I would use that just to add a little bit of an extra glow to the face, so that way it's not so matte. And I will say this, if you are on the drier side and you just want to use it because you like it, just don't set your face. That's the thing. If you're a dry skin girly and you are using a foundation that is more matte, just easy with the setting powder because it's going to make you look really, really cakey. And then for application with this one, you can do brush or sponge, pick your poison. Next up, Patrick Ta Major Skin. This is a new foundation at Sephora. I've been using it on clients. It ain't for oily skin though. If you are an oily skin girly, do not use it. I do like the undertones of this one, and I especially like the undertones for the neutral golden girls or the neutral warm girl. Like, I fit into that range. Undertones are amazing. Patrick Ta did a fantastic job. He's a makeup artist. The makeup artists always do a great job. This is going to be great if you've got that normal to dry skin type. If you want that glam glow that I've been calling it, you will love this. All right, don't come for me. Giorgio Armani Luminous Silk. I have never understood the allure of this foundation, and because I've never understood it, I have been intentionally using it on clients whenever I am doing makeup services and makeup applications, and the consistency of it is weird to me. It's like, it's thick. I don't want to say it's thick. I don't know. It's thicker than what you would think. I don't know. For me, I will say this. I use it to bronze or underpainting. I've been using it for underpainting, and I do like it for that. However, that is an advanced makeup artist skill. The majority of people are not going to buy this $69 foundation just to do underpainting or just a bronze. I don't recommend it. Even if you can, sis, don't. But the girlies love it. I could care less. I don't think it's all that. Like, it's alright, but it's not all that. Let's see. Rare Beauty Liquid Touch Weightless Foundation. I have tried this on myself and I liked it. It didn't wow me because I remember I was using it for a bit and then something else came out and I was like, okay, on to the next thing. Is it a bad foundation? No. Is it amazing? No. It's just one of those like good old basic in the middle foundations. Rare Beauty is a fantastic makeup line. Selena Gomez, like most of the time, I'm always skeptical and very, very hard when celebrities come out with makeup brands or beauty brands, but Selena, she did her thing with that one. This one has like the wand on it, so it's the wand applicator. And it's definitely going to be some more so in that medium range. It is skin-like, so if you don't like a full-on situation, you'll like it. Dior Backstage Foundation. I loved the original formulation before they redid it. The original one was more matte, and I liked it. I am a huge Dior fan when it comes to complexion products. I have on Dior foundation right now. I remember when I first heavily got into makeup, the first two foundations I ever tried were NARS. That was when I was in beauty school. And then after I graduated beauty school, I used a Dior foundation. It was Dior Skin Star Foundation. I will never forget it. And I remember when I put this foundation on my skin, y'all, I looked like I was in a freaking magazine. I couldn't believe it. However, it had so much fragrance in it and it made me break out, and I would just try, and I was trying and trying and trying. Couldn't make it work. It kept breaking me out. So Dior complexion products now, I don't have any issues with them breaking me out. Dior Backstage is a fantastic foundation. I wish it was more matte how it was in the old formulation. However, the new formulation is just more hydrating. But also keep in mind that just because something is hydrating, it doesn't mean that it's dewy. dewy, because we do need hydration, especially as we transition over into the cooler months, even as oily girls, you know what I mean? Like, obviously, we're not going to need the abundance of hydration that someone who has true dry skin might necessarily need, but I like it. This is also like a good entry foundation. So if you're new to makeup and you don't know where to start, you want something that's a little something but not too much. The price point for this, $43. Love the packaging, love the component. It comes in a squeezy. It's giving MAC face and body vibes. I think that's what it was supposed to be like. And also I like that Dior shade matching is very easy. I love when foundations make sense. So it is a number. So 1 being the lightest, all the way up, I believe it goes to 9. Does it go to 9 or 10? Hang on. This one's a little bit different. 10. So 1 being the lightest, 10 all the way to the darkest. And then the N stands for neutral. The W stands for warm. The C stands for cool. Please pay attention. This is a pro tip. Whenever I am picking foundations to use, that is what I like to go off of, because I don't care that the name is golden sugar, warm blonde, like that don't tell me nothing. It's just neutral, cool, or warm, because that is going to help you match your foundation. And honestly, especially when I'm picking foundations for my kit, that's what I'm going off of. If it's got some crazy, and that's the thing that hangs me up with NARS foundation sometimes, is because they have actual like random names. Like my shade for NARS is Macau. Well, that doesn't tell you anything. It doesn't tell me if it's warm. It doesn't tell you if it's neutral. Now, when you flip it over, it'll say medium, dark, whatever the case may be. But for me, just my makeup artistry brain, I love it when a brand does their system that way. Fenty Beauty Soft Filter Matte Longwear Foundation. I remember when this came out. If you are an oily skin girl, this is your best friend. This is your best friend. This is one of those great, again, entry-level foundations if you're a beginner, because the consistency of this bad boy, it is so thin. I love a thin consistency foundation. It is medium coverage. You can build it up a little bit. It is matte, not for dry skin. If you put this on your skin and you have dry skin, it's not going to look the best. Again, unless you have exfoliated, you've done all the things, but even still, I love this for the oily skin girls. It is so easy to blend. Now, a lot of people always say, oh, it oxidizes. Let's talk about oxidation, because I'm a hair colorist, and oxidation is the process of hair coloring. So when I put the color on the scalp and the steps that it takes to turn colors, I personally do not feel that this is an oxidation situation with this foundation. I think it's just drying down. So I've put this on myself and plenty of people, and I don't see it like changing different colors before my face, before my eyes. I see it drying down. It's almost kind of like, let's say when you have a shirt, right? The shirt is dry, but then when it gets wet, because you know, it's damp now, it gets a little bit darker. It's just that, oh, it's a difference when it's wet, when it comes out versus how it dries down. That's how this foundation is for me. But I will say this, one of the hangups with this foundation is there are so many colors, which is amazing. However, sometimes too much of a good thing is too much. And I think because there are so many shades, it makes it daunting for some people to find their shades. And I also feel that this is a foundation range that just, it pulls warmer. So if you are someone who is in the warmer skin tone where you have more golden or olive, you're probably going to have a better chance finding your foundation. But even still, like sometimes when I'm looking at it, I'm kind of like, these two shades are so close. Like for me, I can wear shade 410 and 420. It just depends on how I'm feeling during that day. You know what I mean? So Makeup by Mario Surreal Skin Luminous Hydration Foundation. Love. Love, 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 love. This is one of those where everybody can wear it. However, there's always terms and stipulations, right? For the oily skin girls, we gotta powder it. It is pretty. It is skin-like. If you want super, super matte, this is not the foundation for you. It is going to look like a luminous skin, but it's going to look very healthy. If you are someone who has drier skin, combination skin, normal skin, you're going to absolutely love and adore it. The consistency, it is a little bit more of a thicker, I'll say this, it's in the middle. So it's not thin, but it's not super thick. It's right in the middle, so it's easy to work with also. It doesn't dry down fast. You don't have to have like a special hand or tips and tools or be professional to work with it. It's beautiful. I really enjoy it. One size, turn up the base. Oily skin girls only. I use this on my clients because my girlies are on stage or they're either outside doing a photo shoot. This stuff right here, if you want something that is bulletproof, you want something that is waterproof, you want something that is sweat proof, you want something that is oily skin friendly, you want something that is full coverage, cover your soul to the toes, this is that. I thoroughly enjoy the shade range for this brand as well, just simply because the number and the lettering system, he has a neutral golden situation, just like it's just good. I really, really like it. NARS Natural Radiant Full Wear Coverage Foundation. So the consistency with this foundation is thicker, and I've been using it. So this was my go-to at work when I'm doing makeup at Sephora. It was my go-to, but as I've been using this on drier skin types, I don't really like it. I'm not really a fan. I feel like it gets cakey, which is interesting because it's supposed to be like a natural radiant, and that definitely is the finish, so let me not knock her for that. The finish is natural radiant, but I do not enjoy the way that this goes on dry skin. I do not. If you got combination, you got oily, it's going to be beautiful. This is full coverage, ladies. Full 100% coverage. For this one, I would recommend using a sponge, just simply because I feel like sometimes it can just like, I don't know, blending this out sometimes I feel it can be a pain in the butt. Either I can blend it and it's really, really good, or sometimes I'm like, what is happening right now? So I think a sponge would be the best application for this one. Dior Skin Perfect 24-Hour Multi-Use Foundation Stick. This thing is silky smooth. I'm talking silky smooth. It looks like skin. And I love this because it looks like skin, but it's not super, super matte. And it's interesting because most stick foundations typically are dewy or luminous. This is not that. It is a natural skin-like finish, and the pigmentation is rich. It is rich and saturated with this. So definitely love that one. Brush or sponge, pick your poison. Let's see. Ooh, okay. Estee Lauder Futurist Hydra Rescue. This is one that I love on my mature women. Oh my goodness. Especially if you're a mature woman and your skin is leaning more towards the drier side. I love this. Estee Lauder is just a fantastic brand. Estee Lauder is tried and true. Estee Lauder is an oldie but a goodie. You can't go wrong with anything from Estee Lauder. And let me tell you something. A lot of people like to say, oh, that's an old lady's brand. That skincare is some of the best skincare I've ever used. When I was managing the Estee Lauder skincare, when I was managing the Estee counter and I started using their skincare, I was like, no wonder all the women that come to this counter look so beautiful, because this skincare is something magical. And I am definitely going to go back to using it now that I'm thinking about it, because top notch. This foundation, SPF 45, it's medium coverage. It's just enough coverage, but I like it because it doesn't settle. So if there's any fine line or anything going on, it doesn't settle. It's got beautiful coverage. It's not matte. It's going to give you a nice glow. It's stunning. And with this one, you can use a brush or a sponge, of course, because it does kind of teeter on that. It's not quite a skin tint, but it's not full coverage. Just keep in mind, if you use a sponge, it's probably going to pull up just a little bit of product, but I like that because I feel like it gives you more of just like a skin-like airbrush finish. Charlotte Tilbury Airbrush Flawless Longwear Foundation. I don't really like this foundation like that. In fact, I'll say this, I don't like this foundation. I love Charlotte Tilbury. She's got a lot of great products that I like, but when it comes to her complexion, Foundation, concealer, not a fan. Don't like it. This one for me, like, it's weird because it's matte, but it doesn't really, I personally, everyone that I tried it on, it doesn't really look that great on. I've used it myself and I wasn't a fan of it. Wasn't a fan. Estee Lauder Skin Tint Serum. This pissed me off when they came out with this because I don't have a shade in it. The shade range for this one is very, very weird. It's like the 7 was too deep, but the 6 wasn't their normal true 6 because in Estee Lauder I'm a 6W, but this, it was so much lighter. And I get because it's a skin tint serum. So when it is a skin tint, you do have more room when it comes to the shades because it's not full coverage, right? But this, bad job. Don't like it. Makeup Forever HD Waterproof Natural Matte Foundation. I will never forget when I wore this to my little brother-in-law's high school graduation 2 years ago. I didn't know we were going to be outside on the football field, hot June, North Carolina. Let me tell you something. This looked so good. If you're looking for something that can stand up in the heat and you want something that's matte but not soul-sucking matte, beautiful. Brush, sponge, whatever you want, it's gonna look good. Alright, Born This Way, Natural Finish Longwear Liquid Foundation. This foundation has been out for a minute and I have not used it in years, but what I do know is when I did try it on me at that time, I simply wasn't a fan of it, just simply because when I tried it, I was a hardcore matte girl. You couldn't get me to try anything that was hydrating or anything that was more of a natural skin finish. No. I felt everything had to be matte, but I will say this. If you're a shade twin, the shade Chai, and that's the shade that Jackie Aina helped them with. That is one of the most perfect shade matches I have ever used. So if you're curious about this foundation and you're a shade twin, shade Chai is our shade. And then also for the skin twins, what I will do is when I leave all the foundations that I mentioned in the description box, I'll be sure to leave my shade so that way y'all know what it is. Dior Forever Skin Glow Foundation. I've been using this on my dry skin clients at work. Beautiful. I love it. I love it. This one and the matte version is stunning. Y'all are going to kill me because the one that I have on today, you can't get at Sephora. You have to get it at ULTA. It's one of those exclusives. This is the Forever Natural Nude. So this one, hold on. We're off topic, but I know someone's going to ask, and then you're going to go to the Sephora website, and you're going to be pissed off that you can't get it. I hate when brands do that, which I get it. Like, if it's a brand where they're both sold at Sephora and ULTA, but it's exclusive, like how both stores have Tarte, but Tarte Shape Tape is exclusive to ULTA, or both brands have Dior, but this foundation is exclusive to ULTA, and Dior Backstage is exclusive to Sephora. Hate when they do that. So this one is a luminous finish. And I have had this on. It is currently right now 7:52 p.m. and I have had this on since 9:00 a.m. I don't know how much time I have before my camera overheats, but we're going to keep it moving. Coming up next, Lancome Teint Idole. So I did a whole video of this from, again, when I was at the counter, and when they reformulated this, they put skincare in it, and I got knocked out. I don't have a shade in this. I used to be 500W. Perfect. Suede. Amazing shade. Here's the thing. When these brands reformulate their foundations and add skincare ingredients, 9 times out of 10, whatever your shade was before, it ain't gonna be that no more. And it is frustrating and it is annoying. Me personally, I don't want skincare in my foundation. I got my own skincare situation. And then honestly, especially if it is a brand that has their own skincare, why would you, because Lancome has their own skincare, so why wouldn't you want them to spend money on the skincare and then on the foundation? I don't know. Great foundation. I'm just irritated still to this day. I made a whole video on it. Did they ruin it? Yeah, they did ruin it because I like the old one better for the simple fact that I could find my shade. And I also feel that the original one was just a little bit more matte, not gonna lie. Okay, NARS Soft Matte Complete Foundation. Oily skin girls, 100%. This is so matte, it's a little bit too matte for me. Now, I have matured where I don't like for my skin to look super matte the way I used to, but even before I had that change in my makeup style, I remember putting this on and I was just like, okay. I got to the point where I felt like super matte foundation was aging, and there's nothing wrong with aging. Aging is a blessing. Hallelujah. We're still here. We're living. We're breathing. Amen. But this foundation, it just, I'm not a fan of it. I'm not a fan of it. Again, I understand, and the fact that it's called soft matte, this is not soft matte. This is matte. So, highly recommend if you're going to use this, baby, use a damp sponge. 100%. Is it great for, again, like weddings or photo shoots? You're going to be outside? Absolutely. But you've been warned. And going right on to Huda Beauty Faux Filter Matte Foundation. I don't feel like this is a foundation that a lot of people use, honestly. I was using this for what I did for work on my clients, and the reason why I started pulling away from it was just simply because I needed something that was a little bit more flexible. Trying to put this on dry skin is like, it's tough. However, the shades, the undertones, especially when you get to maybe like a little bit lighter than me and deeper, oh my God, the depth, the richness, the saturation, that's why I was using it. I was loving it. Okay, these next three I'm going to mention, and I'm just going to put them like all together in a lump. All right, so Kosas. This is the Kosas foundation, the Say Skin Tint, and then the Ilia. The fair skin girlies love these. This is just what I have been noticing in store. The fair skin girlies love these, and I get it. It is very lightweight because I think also too that's the aesthetic, the whole clean girl makeup, no makeup looks. I understand it. These are all sticky to me. And that's the thing, when something is marketed as a skin tint and then it also has a glowy situation to it, they tend to be a little bit tackier. They tend to be a little bit stickier. That's not my vibe whatsoever. I don't mind a skin tint, but these, I've noticed that has been something that's been in common with all of those. Now, if that's your vibe, you will love. As far as the shades, I would say use a brush, especially if you do want to get just like a little bit more pigmentation. Now keep in mind, for all three of these, they're not full coverage whatsoever. So, and also, hold on. Yeah, they're not full coverage whatsoever. So if you want to maintain what pigmentation you do get, I would use a brush for those. Let's see. Hourglass Soft Glow Foundation, the Ambient Soft Glow. That's a beautiful foundation. Hourglass, I don't know what's in their formula, but that daggone concealer and this foundation, it's very close. Like when I wear that, I get the same vibe that I feel whenever I'm wearing a Dior foundation. I just feel rich. I feel luxe. I feel like my skin looks airbrushed, like fresh out of a magazine. I love it. Chef's kiss. It didn't give me the feeling of being too glowy either. I honestly didn't even realize that it was soft glow foundation. I just thought it was the ambient foundation. So today's years old. I mean, I've tried it, I've used it, I've worn it before, and I do enjoy it. For that one, I would use a brush for that one as well, because if I can remember correctly, that's not a super thick consistency either. So I think a brush would be the best application for that. And that's also one of the ones where I feel like, all skin types can kind of get on with it, and I'm not mad at that. Face Bound Self-Setting Waterproof Foundation. This foundation is dope. I wore it yesterday. I actually received it in PR, which was amazing because I'd never received foundation like that. Well, foundation from a large brand in PR before. And this really is self-setting. So I'm oily skin, and when they say something is self-setting, I'm like, nah, Cap, don't believe you. This legit is self-setting. I do not have to set it with powder, so I don't know. I don't know what they did with it, how, who, what, when, where, how. And then also the crazy thing about it is I do personally feel that if you have dry skin, you can rock with it, which is interesting. Very, very interesting, because like it's not super thick. The pigmentation is beautiful. I also like the packaging too. I mean, I have mine right here. I like the packaging too because I travel, right? So when I'm traveling and I'm flying, I don't mind, because like this is glass, it's heavy. This, it's lightweight. I really enjoy this foundation. What do they even say the finish of this is? I have no idea. Medium coverage, matte finish. Yeah, it is a matte finish, but this is a soft matte finish. This is truly soft matte. Let's see. LYS Triple Fix Foundation. I didn't like that. I didn't like it. And I think that might have been a not for me type situation. Drier skin girlies. I know it's disappointed because I really wanted to like it, but I didn't like that one. That wasn't for me. And then what else? Fenty Beauty Eavesdrop. Love her. Love her, love her, love her. This is the most absolute perfect skin tint if you've got that combination to oily skin. Again, if you have dry skin, you'll like the consistency of it, but from the feedback that I've gotten from girls, the feedback that I've gotten from girls who do have dry skin when they try this is they just wish it had a little bit more of a glow to it. Hourglass Vanish Seamless Stick Foundation. This, again, it's going to give you that whole luxury vibe. I almost wore mine today. I don't know what is in this. It's when I say in this, as far as just like the pigmentation on this bad boy. Where is it? I had it earlier. Oh, there it is. But like, I remember the first time I wore this, it just... I don't know. This is something special. I have not seen a formula like this before. This is one of those ones where I put it on my skin and my skin is just like radiating, but in a good way. Not radiating like, oh, dewy, glowy, wet, but it's just like, oh. It looks like a light from within is shining through you. That's what it is. Let's see, Charlotte Tilbury, the Beautiful Skin Medium Coverage Liquid Foundation. That is one that I would use on mature skin. Again, not my vibe. I don't like it. However, if a woman came in and she was, more mature, she wanted a little something with SPF, that's the route that I would go with. The Too Faced Born This Way Soft Matte Foundation is matte. It is matte. I swatched it. I was playing with it one day at work and I was like, whoa. So again, if you are an oily skin girl and you want something that's matte, you will enjoy that. And then the Lancome Idol Care and Glow. I love, 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 love. Now, this is going to be a tough one for oily skin. Like, I was able to make it work, of course, making sure that it's not hot outside. Like, that's not anything that I would ever try to wear when it's hot, but it did look very beautiful on the skin. If you are someone who does have dry skin, combination skin, chef's kiss, beautiful. It's also going to give you that, like, glow from within vibe. It's stunning. And I also like that one a lot for my mature women as well. Pat McGrath Skin Fetish Sublime Perfection Weightless Foundation. Go ahead and come at me. I don't think this is all worth the hype. Like Giorgio Armani, Pat McGrath Foundation, I don't get it. I truly do not get it. Is the Pat McGrath Foundation bad? No. But like the hype that it got, I used it and I was just kind of like, okay. Just for $69 hairs? Nah, I wanna be wowed for $69 hairs. You feel me? Let's see, we just strolling right on down. So some of the ones that it pulled up, they are actually not foundations. Givenchy Prism Libre. Okay, let's talk about it. I've been playing with these in store. I have not tried them on myself or on anybody, so this is my next assignment coming up with the next couple of weeks. But I can tell you, your girl is intrigued. So one of them is light coverage, and then the other one is matte. And yeah, I'm intrigued. ABH medium coverage natural finish luminous foundation, dry skin all day. Looks stunning on dry skin, absolute trash on oily skin. Ooh, Makeup Forever matte velvet blurring foundation and setting powder. Love. That was a good one. That I wore mine out. But Makeup Forever, when they did their whole shades changes, they changed up their stuff a little bit, and it made it, I feel like Makeup Forever was already one of those where it could have been a little bit tricky to try to figure out your shade, but when they revamped everything, now I'm like, this is a little bit difficult, but it's a beautiful foundation. And the Eavesdrop Stick Blur Skin Tint Foundation, beautiful on oily skin. It was alright on me. I wasn't the biggest fan. And is that it? Yeah, because the rest of these are like online only. Okay. We gotta hurry because the camera's overheating. I think, hold on, because we didn't talk about some, there we go. Fenty Beauty Soft Matte Longwear Powder Foundation, 10s across the board. Love it. Everybody can use it. If you're an oily skin girl, your skin's going to love it. Some people use it to set their foundation. I use it to just dust all over my face and go on out the door. It's just one of those where it's just easy, and I love her. And then I don't see it popping up on here yet, but I'll go ahead and mention her. Danessa Myricks Yummy Skin Balm. Unique product. Have never used anything like it. Oily skin girls. So, a sponge or a brush. If you're going to use a brush, use a flat top kabuki brush, because I found that that is much easier to apply it with if you want to use it with the foundation brush, or if you want to use a sponge, because a sponge is just bulletproof and you can't screw her up. Same thing for a Lancome Dual Finish, the pressed powder. That's an amazing, amazing pressed powder if you just want something real quick. Dust on the face, set your foundation. Now, I am someone, if I'm wearing foundation, liquid foundation, I don't set it with a powder foundation. That's just not my vibe, because I feel like if you are not careful, you're going to run the risk of getting cakey. But some of y'all like to do it, and hey, do your thing, babes. Do your thing. And I believe that's it, because the things that are popping up now are like concealers, some BB creams I've never tried before. Let me see. Yeah, foundation brushes. Okay, so that was it. Oh, the Lancome Tops Idol Stick Foundation, which I love. Love. And then I guess just for kicks, ooh, we don't have much there. Then for kicks and giggles, I'll show y'all what I got in my foundation drawer, alright? So, my Lancome, this Dior foundation, not available at Sephora. Oh, there's that Charlotte Tilbury. I don't even know. This has been sitting in my drawer. I never used it. I should have put it in my kit. And I think, honestly, yeah, that's expired. Tossing that out. That was shade 7 when I was just testing it out. And then I've got Supergoop Skin Tint. I forgot to mention this. Love this because it is SPF 50. It doesn't break me out. It has just a little bit of tint. Over the summer, this was my best friend. And then my Urban Decay, my Huda Beauty. This is almost empty. Need to toss that. Then I've got my Eavesdrop in the shade 20. And that's it. Oh no, my Dior. This is my other Dior Backstage in the shade 5N. And then I've got, it's in my bag, my Fenty Beauty powder in the shade 410. 1, 2, yeah, these are getting thrown away. That's it. I think this was a fun idea for a video. Down below in the comments, please let me know if this is helpful. I really wanted to push this out during the sale, and not because I'm trying to promote y'all to buy. That's not it. You don't need none of this stuff. None of it. Y'all know, if you've been rocking with me for a while, I am not the person to push products. I am not the person to be using something, tell you it's great, you don't ever see me use it like that. I don't operate that way, okay? If I am saying something is good, you know how I feel about it, but also I understand, because y'all have just reminded me from time and time again that the knowledge that I have, you want to know. So this is helpful for the ladies that are trying to be a good steward, that are in the market for a new foundation right now, and maybe you don't know where to start, you don't know what to look for, you don't know what to get. That is what this is for. Because guess what? I guarantee there are about 50 of y'all watching this right now, and you don't need to buy another foundation. I'm going to say it one more time. I guarantee there's about 50 of y'all watching this right now, and you don't need another foundation. You know why? You got about 3 of them sitting in your drawer that you haven't even cracked open, cracked the surface on, hit a dent in. So if that is you, watch this for fun. Watch this for your wish list. Do not go out there spending your hard-earned money on more foundation when you already have some, because guess what? These expire in 12 months. I tell my clients, 12 months, that's a shelf life. But if you start going over a year and a half, a foundation that's over a year and a half old, do not put it on your face. Please be wise. Please be a good steward with your money. All these people are going to get up here and say, oh my gosh, you have to have this, you have to have none. You don't have to do nothing but pray and drink your water. That is it. All right. Amen. Amen. Thank you so much for watching. I love and appreciate y'all. I'm tired. I have worked all day today. It is late. I am done. Cast one more net.